I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being a very honest person, I'm sure you can tell me where God came from.
Some debates change the game. Others leave one side regretting their words. This is one of those moments. In this video, Professor Reinhold J. Schlepper, a scientist, steps into a debate with Christian apologist Kent Hovind, convinced that he has cornered him with a question that challenges the very foundation of Christian belief. His question: where did God come from, and how can a spiritual force impact a material universe? He believes he has presented an unanswerable dilemma, expecting to dismantle the Christian worldview. But what happens next? Kent's response is so precise, so brilliant, that it turns the entire debate on its head. Is it possible that the question itself is built on a false premise? And is it possible that science, which seeks to explain the material world, is limited in understanding the immaterial? Let's dive in.
I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being a very honest person, I'm sure you can tell me where God came from. And in addition, once you've told me where God comes from, please try to clarify how you can figure that a spiritual force can have an impact on a material universe to create it. I think that some years ago we already talked about that kind of thing in philosophical circles at any rate, by posing the question: if angels are made of spiritual matter, and a pen is made of material matter, and spiritual matter displaces no space, how many angels can dance on the tip of a pen? I have a sense of
the scientist presents his challenge in a way that seems to assume logic and reason are on his side.
But please do,
he
go ahead.
confidently states,
you got 5 minutes.
where did God come from?
Now, I just want to know which question.
How can a
all right, you may
spiritual
take the
force
rest of
have
the
an
minute.
We're supposed to
impact
do one
on a
question at a time.
material
Which one would you
universe?
like?
At first glance,
That
these
was
may seem like
part of the
profound and
format for the debate.
unanswerable
So which
questions.
I want you to fill in
But
the story
real
of the rest
flaw,
of the beginning
question
of the
assumes
universe.
that God is part of creation,
God,
that he is
spiritual
bound by
matter,
time,
impact
space,
on material
and matter
matter.
like everything
So,
else
two
in the
questions.
universe. This is where Kent Hovind begins his masterful
All right, your
rebuttal.
question, where did God
Kent
come
Hovind
from,
immediately
assumes
spots
that
the
you're
flaw
thinking of the
in
wrong,
argument.
obviously it displays that
dive
you're thinking
in.
of the wrong God, because the God of the Bible is not affected by time, space, or matter. If he's affected by time, space, or matter, he's not God. Time, space, and matter is what we call a continuum. All of them have to come into existence at the same instant, because if there were matter but no space, where would you put it? If there were matter and space but no time, when would you put it? You cannot have time, space, or matter independently. They have to come into existence simultaneously. The Bible answers that in 10 words. In the beginning, there's time. God created the heaven, there's space, and the earth, there's matter. So you have time, space, matter created, a trinity of trinities there. Just, time is past, present, future. Space has length, width, height. Matter has solid, liquid, gas. You have a trinity of trinities created instantaneously, and the God who created them has to be outside of them. If he's limited by time, he's not God. The guy who created this computer is not in the computer. He's not running around in there changing the numbers on the screen, okay? The God who created this universe is outside of the universe. He's above it, beyond it, in it, through it. He's unaffected by it. So the concept that a spiritual force cannot have any effect on a material body, well then I guess you'd have to explain to me things like emotions and love and hatred and envy and jealousy and rationality. I mean, if your brain is just a random collection of chemicals that form by chance over billions of years, how on earth can you trust your own reasoning processes and the thoughts that you think? Okay, so your question, where did God come from, is assuming a limited God. And that's your problem. The God that I worship is not limited by time, space, or matter. If I could fit the infinite God in my 3-pound brain, he would not be worth worshiping, that's for certain. So that's the God that I worship. Thank you.
Atheists love to ask tough questions, but as we see in this debate, their own worldview often collapses under scrutiny. Key takeaways from this debate. 1. God is eternal. He is not bound by time, space, or matter. 2. Science depends on order, which ultimately points to an intelligent creator. 3. Emotions, morality, and logic cannot be explained in a purely materialistic world. 4. Christianity is not blind faith, it is faith built on reason, evidence, and revelation. Now, ask yourself, does your worldview stand up to scrutiny? Are you basing your beliefs on logic or just assumptions? If God does not exist, what is the foundation for truth? The fool says in his heart, "There is no God." Psalm 14 verse 1. If this debate strengthened your faith, share this video. Let the world know that Christianity is not just faith, it's truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful debates and Christian apologetic.